And now to another top story at this hour. Spokane City Council passed an emergency ordinance last night regarding cooling centers in the city. It passed 6-1 with Councilmember Michael Cathcart being the only no vote.
This comes as Spokane continues to deal with the high temperatures in the 90s after the historic heat wave at the start of the month. Our own Ian Smay spoke with Spokane's mayor and city council members, the president of the city council, about the necessity of the cooling centers.
Cooling centers like the one at the Louvre Carousel have opened up as Spokane faces a streak of 90-degree temperatures. In a 6-1 vote, the Spokane City Council passed an ordinance for opening cooling centers in the city. Now, it only needs to be 95 degrees for 2 consecutive days instead of 100 degrees for 3 straight days. A change City Council President Brian Baggs said was vital.
Well, we heard loud and clear from the community that we needed to lower it from 100 degrees to 95 degrees because people who are outside unsheltered or don't have air conditioning are really suffering at 95 degrees as well. So I'm really glad that we passed that 6-1.
The ordinance also mandates that the centers be low barrier and expands capacity to accommodate all vulnerable people in the city. But Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward says before the capacity was expanded, the centers weren't filling up.
But we never saw any more than about 3 dozen at one time. But over the course of that 8-day period, we saw just around 750 people in total. But again, we have 1,000 spaces every single day. So about 90% of the capacity that we had ready for people who needed it was not used.
Woodward said she thinks this comes down to people preferring to be in their own homes than have to go to a shelter with strangers. Baggs says it's about accessibility. He believes centers need to be in neighborhoods where people can more easily use them, a point that Woodward agrees with. The ordinance will now also require the city to plan with community groups, such as Catholic Charities, to prepare to open centers year-round in case extreme weather events occur. Woodward says she's looking forward to working with those groups. And while there has been some disagreement between the mayor's office and the council, there is one thing they agree on.
You know, I think what we really need to do as we talk about a community is having people check on their neighbors, their loved ones, their friends, because what we saw in the heat wave 2 weeks ago was that those who were suffering the most were living alone and in homes.
I mean, really, we should be taking care of the people we know. It's a lot more comfortable for someone to go to their neighbor's house who has air conditioning than it is to go to a cooling center where they don't know anyone.
Currently, cooling centers are located at the Louvre Carousel and at Spokane City Library shown on this map. In Spokane, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.